Hello. All right. Welcome to the April Wikimedia Foundation Metrics and Activities meeting. My name is Joe Sutherland. I'm a community advocate on the support and safety team on the support side. Here we go, and we'll move on to the agenda. There we go. Oh, should I use the clicker? Yeah, we should use the clicker. Lol. Okay. Cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to introduce, obviously we're going to introduce the agenda here. We'll have a quick movement update and discuss what's going on in the movement. Zach, Aubrey, and Blanca from the comms team will talk about the We Miss Turkey campaign. We will go on a video tour to Berlin, and we will speak to Pau Giner of the, I forget which team. Oh. We'll talk about content translation, and then we'll have some questions and discussion. And some wiki love. So first, the movement update. Some highlights from the Wikimedia Foundation and the Wikimedia movement in general. We have Wikimedia 2018 coming up, and the 2018 scholarships were just announced. We've 128 recipients receiving full scholarships and 18 receiving partial scholarships. 128 includes those that got them automatically after the announcement made last year. We released a Wikipedia awareness video in India with the Hindi Wikimedians user group as part of the New Readers program. That video is amazing and has been viewed more than 1.5 million times on YouTube already. It's only released like a month ago. The annual plan draft is up and has been published on MetaWiki, which will be open for community review through May 15th. And the page previews feature launched, which allows you to preview the opening image and sentence of an article without leaving the page. It's now available on English Wikipedia for logged out users. It has been available on other Wikipedias for a while now, so it's very nice. You should try it out. And coming up this next month, we have the ESEAP conference on the 5th and 6th of May in Bali, Indonesia, which is the first regional conference for Wikimedia communities in East and Southeast Asia, as well as the Pacific. Wikimedia Hackathon 2018 will take place at the end of the month, 18th to 20th of May in Barcelona. The hackathon will bring together developers and such, and we will talk about the MediaWiki platform and various codey things and technical stuff as you do at a hackathon. The FTC recommendations, I might just read this one out because it's quite complicated. FTC recommendations on the 2017 to 2018 round 2 proposals. At the end of May, the Funds Dissemination Committee will meet to make recommendations to the Foundation's Board of Trustees on how to allocate movement funds to affiliates in order to achieve the most impact. You can have your input and participation on that link once these slides are available, and help them make these recommendations. So without further ado, we'll move on to the We Miss Turkey campaign from Zach, Blanca, and Aubrey from the Wikimedia Foundation communications team.
Thank you, Joe. Do we have one other microphone? Excellent. Oh, we've got two. Brendan, you're the best. Hello, everyone. My name is Zach McCune. I am on the Wikimedia Foundation communications team, and I am joined by my colleagues, Blanca Flores and Aubrey Johnson. Today, we're going to talk about the We Miss Turkey campaign. On April 29th, 2017, Wikipedia was blocked in Turkey. It has remained blocked in Turkey since that time. We have done a great deal of work from the Foundation, from our partner organizations and allies around the world, within our communities, to try to change this reality, to try to unblock Wikipedia in Turkey. One thing that we were conscious of was how to communicate about this block and about our position to it. As our legal team and our communities around the world worked on this, we wanted to be respectful of their work, of their efforts, and also of how we were speaking about this. But about a month and a half ago, we realized there was a great need to remind the world that we were blocked, that the 80 million people in Turkey did not have regular access to Wikipedia. And that's where the communications team began a new effort, desire to do a one-week campaign to raise awareness for this issue. Aubrey and Blanca were really the principal leads on this, along with our PR team. And so today we're going to just do a little Q&A back and forth with these two leaders about how the project went down. So first, I want to ask Aubrey a question. Aubrey, why call this campaign We Miss Turkey?
Well, we called it. Is this on?
People in here really know their AV.
Can you hear me now? Great. Okay. Hi, Aubrey again. We called it We Miss Turkey because from the start of the campaign, we needed to be very cognizant of how we're engaging with the audience. We have multiple audiences for this campaign. One is Turkish users who are blocked from Wikipedia, and the rest is our existing audience, mainly based in India and English-speaking countries, US, UK, who may not even be aware that they are blocked. So we wanted to call it We Miss Turkey as a way of giving it a sort of a relatable and like lamenting tone. We wanted to make sure that that with every tweet went out, we were showing that we are missing the facts that came from Turkey, the facts that Turkey is not willing, that Turkey is not able to see. So we wanted to make sure that that hit home every time we posted. So it became the We Miss Turkey campaign. Yeah, so we started off by inviting the world to share their support for Wikipedia in Turkey. I collected a ton of facts that were art, science, sports, and the like, easy to relate to. And those were, over the course of a couple of weeks, vetted very, very seriously with the legal team and the community over and over again, because we wanted to make sure that what came out of the Wikipedia accounts was there to help, not necessarily harm. So we wanted to make sure that everything was perfect, the perfect tone for what we needed to go out. Yeah, so that, yeah, I think we can do the next slide for that.
Let's do it. Let's talk about how this campaign started, what were the order of events, and then how it went, how it grew.
Cool. I'll actually start with how it went right away. Like, it went really, really, really well. It started with a tweet from Catherine, and her first post was actually a thread. It was a tweet storm that went out both in English and in Turkish, telling people about the block and how long they've been blocked, and asking our audience to unblock Wikipedia. This is probably a lot of people's first exposure to even the fact that we were blocked. And it went awesomely. Within the first day, over 100 people, 800, not 100, 800 people had retweeted her message. Thousands had responded to it. We got a lot of positive response from it. We also got a lot of contention. All of that works in our favor because at the end of the day, everyone is talking about the block in Turkey. So we won out no matter what. Next slide, please. Then we followed suit by retweeting Catherine and starting a thread of our own. And this thread asked, what would you do if you woke up and couldn't access Wikipedia? It's still pinned on our Twitter account. You can still interact with it. Go for it. And this one was mainly introducing the campaign. All of the facts that we had vetted went out over the course of 5 days. And we used this to get people, to get our audience informed and ask them to get involved. So yes, 1 week of all Turkey, all the time is what we committed to. And this means like 1 day was art, 1 day was science. The whole time we're asking people to share what they miss about Turkey, what they love about Turkey. This is one of ours. I think on average for Facebook, we were reaching a little bit over 100,000 people with each post, which is fantastic. Yeah. Next slide. We also put out, which Blanca will talk about later because She's the one part of that. We put out these posters, which got shared across the communities in different countries and got a lot of traction. We got a lot of messages that went out from Wikimedia UK and from detractors and supporters, which was fantastic. We also put out other ways that you can get involved in support other than retweeting. So Blanca designed these Facebook frames. Over, I think, 2,300 people used them over the course of the campaign, which is great. They are in Turkish and in English. So yeah, it was a good time. The posters, again, I didn't do all of the poster part, but I did share the posters. And one thing that that we didn't exactly plan for in the beginning was that these would blow up on Instagram. Instagram was not an initial part of the campaign. We threw it in there kind of on a whim, like, oh, let's put out some stories. But this did an amazing job. Thousands of people saw a few of the posters, and 43% of the people who engaged with those posters had never engaged with us on Instagram at all, and we're not all from the US for once. So yeah, that was a huge deal because it means that like we're getting a lot of eyeballs in a very short amount of time.
Great. This is so great. So then, Blanca, let's talk a little bit about these posters and the artists that made them. How did you find them? What did they make? How did you know you had the right direction?
For this campaign, we wanted to work with Turkish artists that had experience working on poster designs. We used Behance and Dribbble, which are creative platforms. We searched for artists by the type of projects in their portfolio, their location, and skill set. As a team, we found 15 Turkish artists, and we collected examples of their work, put them in a document to compare and review. From this group of we selected 4, and here they are. While searching for people to collaborate with, I came across many portfolios with work that appeals to many different aesthetics. For the We Miss Turkey campaign, we wanted to work with artists that had a distinct style or voice. It was important that the work was true to the designer or authentic, even while working with the constraints of our brand guidelines and art direction. One of the things that I looked for in their work was the ability to portray people or culture to carry a strong message, perhaps with the use of strong typography. My role was to make sure that to identify and understand what the different styles would add to the campaign and bring them together to create a balanced and diverse set of visual assets. I worked with the artists to make sure that emphasis was put on the right words and imagery, again, to ease the audience's understanding of our message. This is what we're missing or losing access to. The posters weren't just about creating a visual experience, but about delivering a message that spoke directly to our audience. And as you can see here, the green poster, which was the first poster in the campaign, was the most shared. And yep, we got a ton of shares. It was really popular.
That's great. Yeah, and we saw that the green poster, which is up in the office now, was also shared widely, as Aubrey said, on Instagram. And people called it cute and friendly, which was exactly what we were looking to do, is try to soften the idea of what was going on and make it about what was missing rather than a sense of opposition. So finally here, I want to ask about the impact. Aubrey, what did you see for impact and response from this?
The impact was huge. I'll just read it off here. We reached an estimated audience of 15.8 million people. That was mostly from Twitter, which is strange. A lot of our talk was for Facebook, but Twitter won the day for sure with 13.2 million users. And on Facebook, we reached 3.6 million users with over 3.5 thousand using the Facebook frame to support ultimately. So it's a good time. Do you want to do this?
Oh yeah, and then we also looked a little bit at the response, because it's not just about getting that reach, it's about the response. So we had almost 200,000 people engaged with social media messages. And of course, this also inspired press. An inspired press that followed the message that we wanted press to follow. So we were able to earn about 35 media articles. About 80% of that was in Turkey. So we're really pleased with it. But now I want to ask kind of an open-ended question, which is what happens next? We remain blocked in Turkey, and Sunday will be the 1-year mark. Sunday will mark the anniversary of this block. So from the communications team and the legal team and the communities that have been working as advocates, I want to tell you that we will continue to push and advocate for the unblocking of Wikipedia in Turkey. So expect to see more soon. Thanks so much.
All right. Thanks so much, guys. Now we'll pass on to Greg for a video chat from Berlin.
Excellent. Okay. So, I think, as everyone knows, we talked a few months ago about how we have been experimenting with different things at the Metrics meeting. Last week, we decided to try another sort of weird experiment. We learned a lot from it, but the basic idea was we were already doing some video recordings with community members in Berlin. Metrics was happening 3 days after we got back from Berlin, so we asked people, is there something you wanted to say to people during the Metrics meeting? One of the things we learned right away, just as a upfront, this is a learning opportunity for us, is the way we did audio, we used a Bluetooth device, and we have subsequently decided we won't be doing that in the future. So we apologize that the way the audio was done did not work, but we wanted to try it and experiment. It didn't work. But we do have a video, and it does still have audio. So we hope you enjoy, and again, kind of throw experience. We thought we'd give this a try. Hope you enjoy it. It's not a professionally produced video like we usually do. That's the point, in case you're not getting that. Okay.
Hi, my name is Salvador. I'm from Mexico. I has been coming to the Wikimedia conference since 5 years ago, and I really appreciate this experience. I think it's one of the most valuable meetings that Wikimedia as movement has. It's a really good place to come together, to talk, to make some arrangements for the rest of the year with the people and with the affiliates. And I really love the people that comes here and the issues that we solve here.
Hi, I'm Claudia from Wikimedia Österreich, and I send you a hello from Berlin, where we're all very tired after talking about our future for several days in a row.
Hello, my name is Tanveer Hassan. I come from Center for Internet and Society, work with indie communities. It's always fun to be part of such a diverse conference where it's not just about what we do, but also the questions of why we do it.
صحيتو اسمي ونير رضا، جايكم من الويكيميديا تاع الجزائر. وشنو نقول لكم، عندي بتي ميساج ان شاء الله تتعلموا معنا في الويكيميديا، وعندنا مساحات كبار ان شاء الله يكونوا عندكم، ومرحبا بكم في لي بروجي تاعنا. على خير.
Hello, my name is Emna Mizuni. I'm from the Affiliations Committee, currently the Vice Chair of the Affiliations Committee. I'm here in the Wikimedia conference listening to folks talking about the future of our movement. And as member of the AFCOM, we're drafting something, the white paper, called the white paper. We would like everyone to take part of the consultation of this white paper to make sure that every voice is heard and to make sure that we are all aligned in our vision for the next or the future of the affiliates. So please reach out to us, please be part of the consultation. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Sandeep Gill. I'm from Punjab, India, and greetings from Berlin. We've just finished Wikimedia conference and I really loved it.
Hi, I'm Daniel Chong. I'm from the user group Malaysia, and we're really small and very new to all this, but I'm really having a wonderful time learning a lot here at the WikiCon 2018. If you know any Malaysians editing in your language, in your country, or who's interested in editing things about Malaysia, please look for us. Yeah, thank you.
Hi, I'm Venus, and originally I'm from Hong Kong. I'm here in Berlin for Wikimedia Conference this year, and I'm having so much fun, and I think Wikipedia is a great thing to have because it brings knowledge to all over the world, and I wish you're here with us. So.
Hi, my name is Amir Aroni. I live in Jerusalem. I'm the language strategist in the Wikimedia Foundation, and I'm here in the Berlin Wikimedia Conference, and we're wrapping up, and it was a lot of fun.
This is what happens when you participate at Wikimedia Conference. Go to fight, and lots of love from Berlin.
My name is Neta Hussein, and I'm from India. I'm having a great time at the conference.
Hello, I'm Felix. I'm from Ghana. I work with Open Foundation West Africa, a user group of the Wikimedia movement. I'm excited to be here at Wikimedia Conference. It just wrapped up, but it was an amazing conference. The critical part about the conference is our plans for the future, and I'm excited that we're building it step by step.
Fantastic. Thanks very much for that, Greg, and all those involved with the making of that video. Now we will move on from that very diverse conference to something else that makes things a lot more diverse. Content translation with Pau Hiner, Senior User Experience Designer. Now I actually have his title in front of me, so he's on the call. Pau.
Hi, everyone.
Fantastic.
Okay, so I want to present the work that the language team has been doing to support translation on Wikipedia articles, what we have achieved, and what's next in our plans. Our goal with Wikimedia projects is to provide access to all human knowledge for everyone, and this requires to make knowledge available in all languages. Currently, language is a big barrier to access knowledge. And today, while an English speaker can access more than 5 million articles, a Zulu speaker can only learn about less than 1,000 topics on Wikipedia. Recent research shows that this lack of content is not only a problem for readers, but it also discourages contributors for participating. Editors are discouraged to participate on medium-sized Wikipedias because the content gap to be filled is too large compared to top Wikipedias. Translation can help to reduce this gap by transferring content across different languages. And translation has been a common practice for many Wikipedia editors, but the process was complex and involved lots of manual steps. Because of this, it was mainly suited for experienced users and a missed opportunity for new editors. Content translation is a project that was started with the goal to make the translation process easy. This is the main view of the content translation tool, where users can look at the original article on the left column, provide a translation next to it, and have a set of language-related tools on the right side to support the process. The tool is based on what we learned by observing how translators work on Wikipedia. These are 3 of the key principles to understand what translation means on Wikipedia and how we support it. First, a translation is not intended to be a full replica of the original article. A translation is just a starting point that will evolve independently. This is why content translation allows editors to decide which paragraphs to translate so that they can translate as much or as little as they need. Second, translating requires to move through different pieces of information in order to understand the context of the translation. You may need to move back and forth between the original and the translated text, search for a word in a dictionary, or look up a Wikipedia article to learn more about related concepts. Content translation facilitates this process by providing the tools at hand. For example, highlighting corresponding pieces of information and keeping source paragraphs visually aligned with the target ones. Third, the quality of the content produced is very important. Our communities often prefer a missing article rather than having a poorly translated one. We believe that by automating the boring steps of our process, users can focus more on the content they create and make better translations. Even when using matching translation as a starting point, we are in a better position to control how much the content has been edited by a user, and we can encourage users to review the content further if needed. Content translation has been available as a beta feature for the last 3 years. Let's see some examples of the impact it had during this time. As of today, more than 310,000 articles have been created with the tool, and that's a lot of content. If we imagine all those articles forming a single Wikipedia, that would be already the number 30 in total number of articles. Despite being available as a beta feature, in several wikis, content translation is used on a regular basis, and the tool is responsible for a significant percentage of the articles that are created every day in those wikis. Since the tool is available, for example, 13% of the articles created in Spanish and Tamil Wikipedia have been created with content translation. For the case of Catalan Wikipedia, one of the early adopters of the tool, the percentage is even higher. 19% of the articles created in the last 3 years have been created with content translation. In addition to producing lots of articles, it is important that those are of good quality. We have been looking at the deletion ratios and observed that articles created with content translation are less likely to be deleted from scratch without the tools. This makes sense since translations have the advantage of starting with more elaborated content, which may have been already reviewed by other community and include references, images, and other indicators of quality. A few months back, the deletion ratio for translations was about 6% overall, but this is different depending on the wiki. So let's see some examples. On Spanish Wikipedia, 10% of translations get deleted, while the deletion ratio for regular articles is 52%. On French Wikipedia, the deletion ratio for articles created with content translation is 5%, and 27% for new articles created otherwise. On Hebrew Wikipedia, the deletion ratio for articles created with content translation is 3%, and 21% for the articles created otherwise. As you see, all different Wikipedias make use of the tool in different ways. Some tools, such as automatic matching translation, are not available for all languages. Languages lacking matching translation still get the benefit of other aspects of the tool that make their experience better than starting from scratch. However, we aim for the language support to be improved over time. And content translation was designed to be an extensible platform so that more tools can be integrated. Communities can integrate new translation services or other language-related tools, and they can also analyze the translations created with them to improve their services. For example, in February, a new open source matching translation service named Matching was integrated into content translation. This service supports translations from Spanish to Basque, and the integration was initiated and developed by a team at the University of the Basque Country with the support of the language team. The graph shows that since it became available in February, the number of translations created each week on Basque Wikipedia increased. So we expect this impact of content translation to grow as different communities help to integrate more of the tools they need into the translation platform. Content translation was created to prove that it was possible to support better the translation process. We are now starting to work on the next version of the tool. This is how the new version of the tool looks currently. If you look at the new version, it's not very different from the previous one, but there are some important changes that will make a difference. These are the goals for the next version. First, to make the tool more solid. Version 1 of content translation used the default editing surface that browsers provide. This was limiting and prone to errors in many cases. With version 2, we are making an architectural update to use the same editing surface as Visual Editor. Second, this new architecture enables new possibilities. Some features often requested by translators will be easy to support. They will be able to edit more comfortably with reliable undo and redo support copy and pasting rich content and adding new kinds of contents as they translate, including new templates. And finally, when translating, editors often find issues that may be hard to understand and fix for the more inexperienced users. For example, your translation may include a link to a site that was allowed in the original wiki, but it's considered spam in the target wiki. By providing better guidance for newcomers, we can help them to overcome these issues, and they can make translations to become a greater way to start contributing on Wikipedia for multilingual users. After some technical explorations, we started the current effort on version 2 this February. During the next year, we plan to first catch up with the support level that version 1 provides, then improve the guidance for new users, and finally start exposing the new version to different wikis to learn how it works and keep polishing it further. So these are the current plans, and you can get more information about these plans for the new version of content translation in MediaWiki, where you can also ask any question about the project. Yeah, that's it. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Pao. Oh, I'll need the clicker again, won't I? Thank you very much. Just a reminder for those on the call and not in the office, there is questions on IRC with our own James Forrester. There are a couple waiting. If you are in the office, there is a microphone there. You'll need to turn it on first. But otherwise, we should open it up to questions. Anybody? I think there are a few on IRC.
Hi there. So first of all, I've got a question about Turkey from Sage. I don't know who's best to answer this one, but I'll just ask it into the void and see who stands up. So, what do we know about how Turkish internet users are working around the block, and what role social media plays in that? For example, the proxy gur.im seems to be doing a bunch of work on Twitter in Turkish to point people to their proxy. See gur.im proxy on Twitter, which doesn't read out very well, sorry. Do we know more about this landscape and whether our own social media accounts might be able to help people find ways around that block?
Would anyone like to grab that one? Yeah.
Okay, yeah, this is on? Yes. Okay, so let me make sure I understand the question first. So the issue is on how people have circumvented the block, right? And whether we would share information around that sort of circumvention? Yes? Is that good, Joe?
Yeah.
Okay. So there are definitely some different ways to circumvent the block. There are other people that mirror our content or host it, and there are ways to get onto like proxies or VPNs from Turkey. And we have some traffic data, so we know that there are people that are doing those sorts of things. But we generally don't support any specific technical workaround. We don't know that those have the correct security or protections for people using them, and we're not able to vet those kinds of services or know what's going on with them. So we're not sponsoring specific technical workarounds. In addition to that, most technical workarounds require some technical expertise, and what we want is to make Wikipedia accessible as a whole for all of Turkey and not just for people that are able to get these types of solutions working. So that's primarily where we're focusing our efforts. Yeah.
Thanks, Jacob.
Thank you, Jacob. That was Jacob Rogers, legal counsel. Just so everybody, I don't know if you're on camera even. Anything else in the room at all? Or if we go back to James Forrester?
So my next question is, I guess, for Pao around content translation, but also from Sage. Does that new translation interface use mobile layout for the side-by-side article views? It looked good! Exclamation mark. Pao, you're muted. Sorry.
So, sorry, which was the question?
Sure. Does that new translation interface use mobile layout for the side-by-side article views? It looked great.
Okay, so yeah, what we are doing is to try to as we are updating the architecture, try to also to align with the new recommendations on the design style guide. So we are updating the designs. We have as our main audience the focus on translators using desktop, and sometimes we are trying to make it easy to use on smaller screens. But to make probably a full experience on mobile that works well, that would be a separate project that we are starting to explore some ideas. So basically, the current goal for now is to make it possible to work on smaller screens, and part of that is why we are adjusting the layout, but there will be more updates on specific mobile support in the future.
Excellent, thanks.
Great stuff. Do we have anything at all? Oh, Abby. Yes, sure.
How can I use content translation on English Wikipedia?
Okay, content translation is available as a beta feature in all wikis. So you can go to your preferred Wikipedia and go to the beta section on the top right next to your username and enable content translation. And from there you can start translating from any language to any language. There are different tools available in different languages. Some languages have automatic matching translation, others don't. And some communities have also make some restrictions to let publish only users with a certain level of previous experience. But the tool is available in all wikis as long as you enable that beta feature.
I think there's one more on IRC.
And also for Pal, so Gergo asks, have you compared the deletion rate of translations to the deletion rate of articles on notable topics written from scratch?
Well, we have only done the general analysis of deletion of articles made with content translation compared to articles created with other tools, and we have not gone much deeper into that. I think it would be really great to get it from different perspectives. Sometimes it's a bit hard to compare. It's not clear which would be an apples to apples comparison and what not, because some articles are created as a translation, and for that you need to know the languages where the original content is available, and the original content needs to be of good quality. So there are many different prerequisites that may have also an influence on which kind of users are accessing translation, how expert they are, which kind of topics. There's a lot we would like to analyze, but we have not gone to that yet.
Superb. Doesn't look like there's anything left on IRC. Anybody else in the office got any questions? Not even, why are you wearing red trousers with a green shirt? I felt Christmassy today, what can I say? Nobody? Okay. Great stuff. We can always catch up with these people on other channels if you're watching this on delay. Just wanted to note that you can submit your ideas for future metrics meetings through MetaWiki on that link there, if you type that into MetaWiki, or click it when the slides are available. For future meetings, submit your ideas, please. That'd be lovely. And there is loads of time. I don't think we've had this much time in months. We have time for Wiki Love Live! So anyone who wants to give a shout out or a thank you, head to the mic or let James know on IRC. Wiki Love Live. Love for that song. I love it. Yeah. Sure, Abby.
I would like to thank the comms team who reached out and expressed about the turkey block, and I think that's great. So wiki love to you. Yay!
Anyone? Come on. Zachary.
I want to give some wiki love to probably the entire community engagement team, who I think do so much around this time of the year, from planning the Wikimedia conference in Berlin and supporting the Wikimedia Deutschland folks doing it, to getting there really early and actually having to do all the capacity building and learning days rather than going clubbing, which is what I would do, to the work that's ongoing in terms of planning the next steps for the movement strategy and South Africa and everything. So just CE kind of across the board. Wiki love.
I'm Caitlin from fundraising. I want to give wiki love to legal, specifically Eileen and Tony and Jacob and Stephen and Jan. Tony and Jacob let us drag them to Washington, D.C. In the past 30 days and come to fundraising stuff and relationship building stuff. And it was a great collaboration. It was a great opportunity to combine two objectives of two departments. And we got to go to some fun parties too. So thanks a lot.
Keep the wiki love coming. Lunch hasn't arrived yet.
Yeah, there you go. I'm going to still accept wiki love from Chris Kerner on RSC for the performance. Thank you. Yep.
Oh, look, now there's a line for the microphone. This time you know it's going to be good. I want to give some wiki love to the engineering admin people for setting up 3 concurrent offsites in Barcelona, which I'm attending one of, and putting up with me taking 2 weeks to respond to emails sometimes. You guys are awesome.
Hello, I'm Danny from the contributors team. I want to give some wiki love to the collaboration team for their work on maps internationalization. It's a really tough problem, and the collaboration team has been working since January. They're doing like a 5-month sprint to get the maps extension to a place where we can deploy it on English and other big wikis, and then not have to have a maps team, like a full-time full maps team, like constantly doing development forever. They're doing a great job. The biggest problem that they've had to tackle is internationalization, that we're pulling labels and maps from OpenStreetMap, and up until now you would see like the United States in English and then China in Chinese and Russia in Russian, which obviously is then really hard for folks who don't speak those languages, especially for unfamiliar alphabets. And so Joe and Roan and Moriel and Stefan have been working on that for a while, and I just saw today that on the Wikimedia India mailing list, somebody has taken the test page that they just posted and just linked folks to there, and people are so excited to see it, and are just saying it's awesome and actually like thrilling to see something that they've really wanted for a long time actually get done. So big love to Joe, Roan, Moriel, and Stefan, and the collaboration team as a whole. You guys are awesome.
Hi, this is Sam from the communications department. I wanted to give some wiki love to our finance department for this incredibly busy time of year with annual planning and wrapping up the fiscal year, and just so appreciate all the work that goes into that, and many late nights at the office. I've seen a lot of you here late, so really, really appreciate it. And also to Elena Hernandez, who I know is probably swamped with people who are similar to me and wait to submit their wellness reimbursements until the end of the year. I've gotten better about it. So thank you so much for that as well. And then lastly, I want to give some wiki love to Lena, who does so much work behind the scenes with the metrics meeting every month and just make sure that things keep running and we get all the emails out. So thank you so much, Lena, for all the work that you do.
I want to give some wiki love to our legal team, especially Aaron and Jim for their work on the WMF versus NSA case. It's been great working with them. And then I think Aaron and Leanna, and just in general, get some legal props for helping us through all our troubles when they come up and getting us through those. Thanks.
Thanks to Danny for the love, and I want to share it with the members of the MAPS team who've been working with us really hard on this project. Chris Corner, who's really done a great job on community, and Guillaume Ledre and Paul Norman have all been awesome in supporting our work. So thanks to them.
I love this. We should have 20 minutes for Wiki Love everyone. I want to thank everybody who helped organize the Wikimedia conference in Berlin. I know that's a real tough job for everybody at Wikimedia Deutschland, especially. Putting that together is probably really hard. So thanks so much for that. It looks like it was really, really helpful for people and a very enjoyable experience. Does anyone have anything else? Anything on IRC even? There is one. Okay, I'll read it out. I've got IRC open too. Karen shouts out to Kim for working with her team, that is SUSE, my team, on a really tricky issue with good humor and much talent, as always. So, Rowan again.
And finally, I also wanted to give some wiki love to Elena Tonkovadova and to Benoit, who have also been champions working on the map stuff with us.
All right. Anyone else? Or do you want to call it? All right. Well, thanks everybody for being here. I guess we could call it early. This has been Wikimedia Metrics April 2018. You've been everyone.